Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today I'll be making a lovely top, simple top. I'll be using this fabric for it. This is African print by 45. This is how I folded the fabric by 45, the savage side. This is the savage side. So on this side I have the length of the top times 2 plus seam allowance to hem it. I'll fold it this way. I'll fold it again. This is the way I folded the fabric. This is the starting line. I'm starting from this line. But if you're using fabric that you're not paying attention to the pattern, you will start your marking from this part, from the upper part. Normally I start from here, but because of the pattern on the fabric, I'm starting from this line because of where I want the pattern to be on the top. From this line to the end of the fabric is 33.5. 32 inches is the length of the top. 1.5 inches is seam allowance. 1 inch to hem it and 1/2 inch to join the shoulder. This top looks better when it's longer. Normally I use like 25-26 inches for the length of the top, but like this I'm using 32 inches. You can use more than 32 inches or less than 32 inches. You can use 30, 29. To know how many fabric that you put on fold, you will take the measurement from your center back. From your center back to where you want the sleeve to stop on your hand. Or you will take your shoulder measurement and how many inches you want for your sleeve length. So but I'm going to use all. This is by 45, folded into 2 is 22.5 inches. This is the starting line. I'm starting from this line. This is the shoulder line. So I'm going to mark the neck width. This top I want it to fall by the side. So I'll be using 6 inches for the neck width. You can use 5.5, 5 inches, 6.5, depending on how you want it to fall by the side. So I'll use 6 inches. So I'll use neck depth of 4 inches. I'll connect it. On this side, I'll mark 2 inches for shoulder slant. I'll connect it to this neck width. I'm going to mark half of her round armhole. Her round armhole is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Because of the type of the top, I'll add ease to the armhole. So I'll add 2 to 3 inches. So 9 plus 3 inches is 12 inches. Starting from this shoulder line, I'll mark 12 inches. Plus 1/2 inch seam allowance that I will use to stitch the shoulder. I'll mark 12.5 inches. From the shoulder slant, I have 10.5 inches. 1/2 inches seam allowance to join the shoulder. So I will extend this line, bust line. This top is free top. I'm going to use the biggest measurement to shape the top. Her biggest measurement is her hip measurement, 48 inches. I will use 48 inches. 48 divided by 4, because the fabric is folded into 4, is 12 inches plus 1 inch for ease. You can use 1 inch for ease. You can use 1.5, depending on how loose you want it. But I'll use 1 inch for ease. It's 13 inches. So I'll mark 13 inches. I'll use 13 inches to shape the top. 13 inches. 13 inches. 13 inches. I'll connect the line. So I will stitch on this line. I will mark the same on the other side. you can mark your quarter of your bust measurement, quarter of your waist measurement, and quarter of your hip measurement. Then you will add his allowance, 1 inch and 1.5 or more, depending on how loose you want it. But I'm going to use her biggest measurement to shape it. You will mark the same measurement on this side. You will turn it and mark the same measurement on this side. I've marked 13 inches. I will stitch on the line. I'm going to cut it. You can use bias to tidy up the neckline, or you will cut facing for the neckline. I'll cut facing for the neckline. This line is 12.5 inches from the shoulder line. It's bust line. Is where you will put your bust measurement. If you're using your bust measurement, your waist measurement, your hip measurement, this is where you put your bust measurement. So I will stitch from this line to the end, but I will open it. So to have this mark on the other side, you hold your finger here and turn it this way and mark it. I've already marked mine. I'm going to cut the facing. I'll fold fabric into 2 and put it under. I'll mark 3.5 inches. You can mark between 2.5 to 3.5 inches. So I'll cut one more of this. I have 2 of this. I'll put it this way, right side together. I'll stitch it together using 1/2 inch seam allowance. I have 2, one for front and one for back. This is the right side. I'm going to stitch on the right side. So what I'll do now, this is right side. I'll turn it right side together to stitch the shoulder. I'll put it this way. This is the right side. Right side together. I'll stitch the shoulder using 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'll do the same on this side. I'll also hem the lower part, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. I'll stitch on it. I've stitched them together at the shoulder line. I also hem the lower part and the side. What I'll do next is to stitch the facing to the neckline. I'll open it this way. This is the right side of the fabric. This is the facing. I overlocked the edge. If you don't have overlocker, you just hem it. So I'll put it this way, right side together. This is shoulder seam. I'll open it. I'll put it this way, shoulder seam. I'll pin it. I'll do the same on this side. Shoulder seam. I'll open it. I'll mash it together. I will use this hemming gum for the facing. I will fold it into two because it's light. I will stitch it on the neckline together with the facing. I will stitch it round. After that, I will notch and top stitch. I will also stitch the two sides. So if I use this hemming gum, after pressing it, it will be okay. I will not need to tack it. After stitching the neckline, this is the right side of the fabric. I'll put it this way. I will stitch on the right side of the fabric. From this point, I'll stitch to the end. I will do the same on this side. I will stitch on the line from this point to the end on the line. So this is the finished look. You can wear it this way, or you will push it to one side of your shoulder. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.